Okay, sorry about that. For those of you that don't know, I just jumped off. I did like 23 seconds, but they were in that this way, and I know that you guys hate those black bars on either side, so I shut off the live broadcast and I re-jumped on, and now you guys should not have anything to complain about other than the fact that I'm not on my trike. In fact, the trike is not even here. Well, bring your wife along. Get her a trike. I am in Tokyo right now. I'm sitting outside of my hostel. Hello. It's a rainy day. That's the subway line, and my bedroom is like right above there, so I can actually see the subway ride by my window. Well, if I look out the window. Actually, my room is a cubby. It's a very, very small room that I've been living in for the past week, over a week. But you guys have seen this area through my Tokyo ride video, and that was very cool. If you guys saw that. What's that? You're the exact opposite. Oh, wow. Maybe we're like, sorry. Maybe we are living each other's lives. Bahamas. Holy moly, that's too far away to think. I just wanted to put a video. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm going to rethink a little bit about how I do my videos and how often I upload. I have been in Tokyo for a long time catching up. Really long time. And it hasn't been, it's been sort of a frustrating long time because 90% of the time it's been in there on the laptop, and not a lot of my time has been exploring Tokyo. Luckily, my friend James Oda and I were able to ride around. Every few minutes. I like the feeling, actually, of being near a subway that's kind of going by. It makes me feel like urban, you know? It's kind of cool. You know, this big train is taking people to and fro all over the city, and each person on that subway car has got a different life and doing a different thing, and you know, their life is ruled by a different set of rules than me, of course, but a different set of rules than everybody else on the train. It's just interesting to peer into other people's lives. Yeah, I lived in Vegas for 5 years, and I'll tell you what, that is an awesome place to peer into other people's lives. Whether it's walking down the strip or going into a casino, or you know, just going to a bar, and there's people coming and going from all over the place. So that's pretty cool, right? But the purpose of this live broadcast, of course, trike Jayoe assistant. Yeah, Europe. Jeez Louise. Visa cost. There's no visa cost for Japan. In China, I don't know. I've got a marriage visa now, so I'm not staying at a capsule hotel, but that's a good idea to do. You know what? I'm gonna. You keep doing these comments, but I'm not gonna read them for a little while, because this is actually one of the things is as I kind of like these live broadcasts because I can actually read and listen to. I'm going to try to train my eyes a little bit more to the camera so you guys feel more contact, because I'm actually looking over here because I'm looking at my face in the screen, but the camera is over here, so I need to. I think next time I do this, I have to do it like this, which is like turning around, and then I can look. Anyways, whatever. I'm learning step by step. Anyways, so I'm at this hostel. I've stayed at this hostel the whole time I've been here. I have, here's the train again. I have enjoyed it because it's quiet, it's new, it's clean, but I've also just been editing in my little bed. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll walk in there, I'll show you my bed. It's obnoxiously small. Anyways, so I haven't done a lot of videos here. You have seen all the videos I have. They're finished. They are on my channel. I don't have anything new. There is nothing to update. And I haven't recorded anything either. I've sort of given myself a little bit of leeway, and I have just been laying low. Yes, the weather has been shit for the past few days, which has been a good reason to lie low. And I have some updates. So, back to where I was talking about. So videos. I keep saying this to myself, that I'm going to make fewer videos of higher quality. But then, as I'm riding around, I have thoughts and I have interesting things that I see. And every time I say that, I end up gathering twice as much video than I normally would have. And anyways, that's kind of frustrating. This is one of the girls that works at the hostel. She's finished work?
No.
No? Go to the other one? Go over there?
Yes.
This hostel is broken into two pieces. This is one of the buildings, and then there's another one across the other way. So, anyways, I tell myself I'm not going to do as many videos, and then 10 times more shit happens, and I end up recording a lot more stuff, which, whatever. I guess it's better to have too much than not enough content. But maybe what I'm going to do is incorporate more of these live streams into the process. The problem is that my live streams depend on, like right now, the reason why I'm not walking around, it's just something I would definitely do with you guys, like walk you around, is that I'm using the Wi-Fi from this hostel. And if I walk away, then I jump onto 4G, and then I start chewing away at my data plan, which could get a little costly. Oh yeah, okay. There's a lot of things I want to talk to you guys about, actually. Some advice, too. Okay, back to the video. So, I'm thinking about doing more live stuff, because I can integrate and talk more with you, and maybe I can just shoot more, maybe shorter stuff. Actually, live stuff, you can go kind of long, and it's kind of still interesting, but, you know, little 10-minute plugs here and there as I travel around. But I do have to kind of budget in the data usage, which can get more. Anyways, I haven't been producing a lot of videos. Most of them are up, and I'm here at this hotel. Now, a couple of you guys have asked me about family. Eva is fantastic. She's just starting to walk. She get just this totally cute video. If you look at my Instagram, you can see she's waving to the camera. She says, hello. She's very, very cute. And so I want to see Eva. Annie is doing well, but her birthday is coming up on the 26th. 10/26 is her birthday. So that's coming up. She has a trip to the Canton Fair. If you guys know the Canton Fair, it's the big fair. I have a few videos about it. It's in Guangzhou. She has to work that fair, and so she needs to take Eva to Guangzhou. So those three big things are happening in her life. And on my side, my Japan visa has 90 days. A visa, for those of you that don't travel a lot, is basically a ticket to travel in another country. I need a visa for China. I need a visa for Japan. And a lot of times these visas, all times, visas have time limits. You can renew a visa almost any country. You can renew your visa very easily by leaving the country and then coming back. But my Japan visa is good for 90 days, which means I can stay in Japan for 90 days, but after that period, I gotta get the hell out. And I've used about 60 of my 90 days so far, which means that I've got 30 days left, and I still have half the country to go through. So what I'm gonna do is leave Japan. Because I'm in Tokyo right now, there's a huge airport here. I can pretty much jump anywhere. And one of the places I can jump is Ningbo. So I'm going home to Ningbo to see Annie. I'm gonna go see Eva, and I'm going to go and help her take everybody to Guangzhou and basically play dad for a while. I'll be there for 10 days, and I'll leave tomorrow, the 18th, and I will be back here in Tokyo on the 28th. So that's kind of big news. The tour is going to take a little pause or a little switch. It'll switch back to like my life in China style vlogs. I'll still be producing videos. So the translation app, I think it's called iVoice, I-V-O-I-C-E. Anyways, so the trip is going to adjust. When I get back, it's going to be a little bit farther into the winter. Rain will be gone, but there will be a much colder Japan to cycle through, which is something I originally didn't want to cycle around in the cold, but I think that you know what, that's okay. I think it'll be cool. I'll just make sure when I go home I can refit some things. I'm gonna get some new warmer clothes and bring it back. And there's a few things that I want to do when I get that. I'm gonna get that Nomad solar power panel, and I'll bring that back with me. So I'll start using my solar panel more and trying to integrate that into my ride kit and my daily grind. And we'll see. Hopefully it can actually charge some stuff and won't just be a heavy weight that I have to carry on my bags. I am excited. I'll do some swimming with Eva. I think she has swim class right when I arrive, so we'll go and we'll play around. Yeah, Eric, get yourself a reef tank. My trike and gear and everything has been very graciously taken by James Oda, the guy who went to Fukushima with me, and the guy that we did the cycling tour around Tokyo with. So he has a little storage locker, and we put the trike in yesterday, which was very cool. Thank you, James. James has been an awesome host and an awesome guide to me and you guys for the last few weeks, and so it's gonna be exciting. I mean, it has been nice. It's gonna be exciting. Why did I say that? That does have actually no context to what I'm talking about. I drank too many coffees, so I'm a little bit jittery. I think you could see. Anyways, let's see here. I'm gonna read some of these. You know what? I was just looking at the Anchor solar panel 21. I was just looking at that on my laptop, but I already bought the Nomad. I already have it. It would be stupid for me to get another one without even trying the Nomad. But yeah. I'm flying back tomorrow evening. It says there's a Japanese embassy website that if you're a U.S. passport holder, you know. Yeah, well, it's not really a visa. It's like a VOA, visa on arrival. It's just a stamp in my book. It doesn't. So I don't have a visa, but I do have. It's an equivalent of a visa. It does the same thing as a visa. We found out you were the blonde. Yeah, I had hair once. Yeah, you know what, Gadget Review, I like handheld gimbals, but it's just another thing I've got to carry around with me. Okay, I'm done reading back. I've got to keep on keeping on. So, okay. So hi. So another thing that I'm going to do when I go back is possibly bring some of my Mount Everest climbing gear back with me, because I've wanted to climb Mount Fuji, but this guy is curious about what homeless guy. I think homeless, or he just really enjoys carrying around old bag stuff with stuff. I haven't seen a lot of homeless people here. Okay, so again, bringing my climbing gear. I think I'm going to bring some of my Everest boots and warm climbing clothes, and I'll bring. There are a few, but not very many, Steve. And so I want to climb Everest, but it's going to be November, so I'm going to be climbing in off-season. Fuji is a very easy climb. You can pretty much climb it. You know, it's not like you're going to be rappelling down crevasses or ice walls or anything. So I'm thinking that it will be possible, but I'm trying to put those pieces together. James will probably help me by because the big problem with me and doing like these kind of like off-site, off-season adventures in the cold periods is that boots and climbing gear is heavy, and so what I would have to do is use James a little bit for hanging onto my stuff, because there's no way that I could load my trike with the amount of gear it takes to climb in the cold, because it's just so much stuff. Annie just sent me a message and says Eva is eating by herself, but I cannot switch to that message because I am doing a live broadcast right now. Anyway, so tomorrow afternoon I am going to leave. My knees have been, knock on phone, very, very good. The mornings are the worst, but I think that's just me being rolling on the 40s, almost to the 40s. So I think that's just me getting older, and I haven't had even close to the moments where I was riding with Ryan, and I ended up having to stop the tour that second time. That was horrible. That was like this knee was packed tight with rice, and you were moving that rice around in your fist as tight as you could, you know. So yeah, that was not good. But luckily my knees have been great, and I don't want to talk about it too much. I just want to just enjoy it and ride this train as long as possible. I think obviously getting rid of the trailer and lightening my load helped out a lot, but also watching my ride and making sure that I don't push myself too hard. There were a lot of times before that I was my motivation was bigger than my body could handle, so I ended up just kind of putting myself into bad circumstances. So I'm very glad that I have not had any problems with my knees, so that's great. Yeah, those braces were great. They were great for the period of time I used them. They allowed, if you guys don't know, I had one of these braces that was like two like material, Velcro material. It was very simple, but it allowed my knee to like flex all the time like this. And I used it, but I used it to the extent to where I felt like I needed it. And then when I felt like my knee was doing well, then I stopped. So yeah, I don't know. I'm in not a hurry anymore. So after I get back from seeing Annie and Eva, I'll be back on the road, and I'll have until Christmas. I will be pausing the tour again in Christmas, but by that time I should be through Japan and into or past Taiwan. And at that point in time, I'd always been saying that I was going to go back and see Annie for Christmas and for Chinese New Year. So that was something on the books for a long time. This 10-day thing just kind of came up in the last couple of days, and I kind of bid on it. I found tickets to Ningbo that were fairly inexpensive, and I talked it over with Annie, and I was like, you want me to come back? You know, happy birthday. And so that worked out that way. So that we talked about. We talked about climbing Mount Fuji. I would have loved to seen more Tokyo. Oh, I know. There is a hard drive in Ningbo that I'm going to bring back with me. This hard drive actually has some old experiences that I had with Ryan in Tokyo. And I played Santa Claus in Tokyo, and I did some really funny moments in Tokyo. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I'll be coming back here for Halloween. So if you want to see some sexy Japanese girl costumes roaming the streets of downtown Tokyo, I have a feeling that video will gain some clicks, and I'll be back just in time to capture those moments. So look forward to that too. Anyways, I'll be bringing a hard drive back, and I'm sorry, my mind. This is why I edit. This is why I edit, because my mind is 1 second over here, 1 second over here, and after a coffee or two, it's like an atom, and there's just all these electrons bouncing around my head, and I have to grab them. See how off the rocker I. You know what, Steve? See, you throw these things out, and then I've got to touch on these comments as the comments are They're like a double-edged sword because they derail my train of thought so clearly. Anyways, oh God, you guys gotta direct me too because, okay, Patreon. If you guys like the tour and you have wanted to help the tour in your own way, gosh, this is actually a live stream in itself. I will probably do a live stream more about my Patreon account later. But I am going to do a little bit about the Patreon account right now. If you go to Patreon, somebody here, could you do this while we're on live? I just opened my Patreon account, which I had been telling people I was going to do for a long time. And it is just, I think you go to Patreon and you just type in, search for Jayoe, and you should get it. I think it's Patreon/Jayoe. It's very simple. And anyways, I set up 3 levels. If you guys want, it's tough asking people for money, especially you guys, because you guys are like my family. But if a lot of you guys have asked if there's a way that you could help out the tour and contribute, and so I've heard a lot of people telling me you should open your Patreon account, so I finally did. And so I think it's patreon.com/Jayoe. Geez, I would jump off and check it. I'll put it in the comments section below. But the thing is, I think it's just Jayoe. But I set up 3 levels: $1 a month, $5 a month, and $25 a month. I even feel uncomfortable talking about it, but I am just no results. It's got to be there. It's got to be there. Somebody find it. I'm sure it's just Jayoe. Sorry. Anyways, so if you guys want to, and you guys that have been asking for it, yeah, 0 patrons. I literally, hey, somebody saw it? Did you put a link down? Put a link in the comments section. And then if anybody wants to take a look. It's kind of funny, that opening video is something that I've been working on with another guy. And it's unlisted, that opening video on my Patreon account. So, yeah, patreon.com/Jayoe. Oh, you can't leave websites and comments? Interesting. So yeah. If you guys want to go and take a look, yeah, take a look. I won't talk about it. I'm gonna probably redo that area a little bit, but at least I put it up, and for now, at least there's something there. And I'll talk more about the Patreon account in the future. T-shirts, guys. My shirt situation is a story of such tragedy that Shakespeare himself could not write it. I've been trying to get my shirts finished for years with a Y, and I am just really frustrated with it. The hats, I'm talking about shirts and you guys go hats. I'm trying to finish things and you guys keep talking about stuff, because I'd like to talk about this hat, but I was talking about the shirts. Now I got to talk about the hat, and I might be totally derailed. I'm back to talking about the shirts. The hat, you see that? That's the button. This is a sample hat, okay? I had this sample made by a factory. I didn't like the colors. I thought that the yellow was too pale, and they didn't have the darker, like, I like the hat would be darker gray, and then the logo and the hat brim would be like a brighter yellow, but they didn't have that material, so the whole deal kind of fell apart. Anyways, I've been wearing this sample for a few months now, and it is very close to running out. I don't know what happens when that button comes off. I felt like I was kind of thinking that when that button came off, it would just sort of explode like a flower, but it hasn't. So that button just simply covers up that center seam. Anyways, the button has been gone for a while, and my hat is hanging on by a thread. That was a relevant pun that totally came off naturally. Well, thanks, Steve. I appreciate that, buddy. You're my first patron. Okay. So, t-shirts. Back to t-shirts. I finished that hat story. Hats actually is a pretty good idea. I could probably make a bunch of hats, and hats are pretty uniform and unisex, right? But they were. I had first looked at shirts so many years ago, and so anyways, the shirts. Annie sent me a package of shirts. I had ordered about 1,000 of them in different sizes, from small, medium, large, extra large, and 2XL. I had shirts and polos and tank tops. Pigeon. And so nice, these shirts. I picked out the material from like a book of wicking, sweat wicking material. I designed them myself. They had tags on them, all this stuff. And they had been taking years to get finished because I was half having Annie help pull favors with the guy she knows that does shirts. And I was half, I don't know, there was a whole bunch of problems with regards to having these shirts made. Jayoe pigeon. And, well, long story short, I wanted to give James the first Jayoe shirt, and he saw me yesterday, and I did give him those shirts, but I was really depressed to give it to him because when they came to me, I opened them up from their cellophane bag that came from the factory. It was a very exciting reveal, and they had this weird stain. Every single shirt had this ugly, like blackish stain on the shirts. Front and back, every shirt had a different stain. Called the factory, told them, you know, each shirt has a stain. And they're like, well, you've had them too long because they've been in our factory for a while, I guess, collecting dust. I don't know why I haven't seen them. Anyways, this project has gone so long that the factory was like, well, I know that's our mistake, but you didn't tell us early enough. And I'm like, well, you didn't give them to us early enough. And they're like, well, it's anyways. Annie right now is trying to deal with the factory, and I don't even want to remake them at this point in time. I'm so just frustrated with these shirts and depressed because I was so excited about the shirts when we first had them, and when I first designed them, and my plans for them was to integrate them into like the levels on Patreon. Like if you were to give $25 a month or something, I'd send you a shirt, or if you were a $5 subscriber for a number of months, I could send you a shirt, and all these ideas, and build a store and all these things. But the shirts never sort of materialized, and then it just started getting frustrating, and it was something that I wanted so much, but it didn't come for so long that it ended up just being more frustrating than exciting, and then it became more anger than excitement, and then it just became, what the hell, and I sort of just fizzled on that. Anyways, so now I've seen the shirts, and they actually have, I finally saw the shirts after years, and they're problematic. They're probably not like problematic if like you get it for free. Like I gave it to James, and James was like so happy that he had one of the first Jayoe shirts. He was so excited. But I can't sell a product with that sort of a flaw. I'm gonna have to not burn. I told James, I'm gonna have to burn these shirts. He's like, don't burn them. I mean, I'm gonna have to actually give them back to the factory and say I need my money back, because these aren't new products. These aren't something. If I was Nike, you know, that contract, I would cancel that contract. Anyways, so there are shirts in existence, but they are just not as good. Oh, you want a fishing cap? You know what? Those fishing caps are a good idea too. I've got one upstairs. It's in my little cubby bed. Maybe I switch to that. I did. I washed them. Like these are actually pretty damn good washing machines, and I washed them. It didn't come out. So, in fact, I think I baked it in after I washed them. You know. Maybe I'll try and get hats. Okay, guys, I'll try and get hats. No, I tried it. Jayoe stickers, that's a good idea. You know what, man? $10 a month? Okay, Pat, I'll try and add. I was trying to figure out if there was too many levels, but maybe $10. Sometimes you have to offer, like, what would I offer? Like, some guys say they'll do individual videos with people if they, like, one guy has like $100 level, and he actually does, like, he sends people, like that John guy I interviewed, he has like $100 level, and he actually sends people stuff that he finds around the world as part of that level, and every month or so he sends something to people. So I was thinking about that too. Stickers is a good idea. Like, have a sticker set, a cycling sticker set for a level of, for $10. If somebody does the $10 level, because stickers is something that I could do, like higher end stickers, like good quality stickers. Yeah. You know, the problem is that I make a video every day and I'm cycling every day. People like John, that vlogger, he lives in Tokyo. His life is here, so he can move and shake in the time that he's not editing. But me, in the time I'm not editing, I'm pedaling. So it's been really hard to try to organize Jayoe and try and grow from like a marketing perspective, which is something I really want to do, but it's hard to do that when you're moving all the time. Anyways, I'm looking. FYI, you can actually edit your pledges. Okay. Oh, you can edit your pledges to make whatever you want. Okay, you need an artist. An artist? Maybe. You know, speaking of artist, you remember that book, The World Waits for You, the book I wrote about Eva, for Eva? Well, I have had an artist working on that, and she is doing a fantastic job, guys. The book should be finished by the first of, this is a tangent, way out in left field, way out, and it's brought to you by the comment section, by the Hidden Village of Art. So thank you for that. Maybe, yeah, stickers. It's a good idea. Yeah, that book. Do you guys remember that? Any of you from way back then? I wrote a book for Eva, for her youth. It's based on the framework set aside by a Dr. Seuss book, and it is beautiful. The illustrations on it are really beautiful. The girl is a Chinese girl from America, that's in America, and she has just captured Eva in such a cute and like a watercolor way, and taken my vision for the book and the vision in the story that I wrote into the pages. That is just gorgeous. And when it's finished, I'm gonna do a reading with her artwork, and I'm gonna sell a book printed, so a print book. That will probably go onto a special Patreon. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good way for me to sell or give away that book, or sell that book, would be to like have a level of Patreon for people that might want to get their hands on one of those books, and also kind of, and maybe any patron that comes from that will go to like a college fund for Eva or something. That would be cute. Maybe I even create that in its own, like, what would that be? Fundraiser, or one of those Indiegogo or something like that. I don't know. That might be a cool thing to do. And because I'll probably print about 1,000 or something of those books, and keep a couple for myself, obviously, but also, you know, sell those. You know what, Pat? That's true too. But from my standpoint, I'd like to do something, you know, for you guys. You know, I make these videos, which is something. That's something, I guess. Geez, the train that has derailed jumped on another set of tracks and is going, and then I derailed it again. It's on another set of tracks, and I derailed it again, and it keeps bouncing off of derailed tracks to another set of tracks. I have no idea where I was, or what I was really kind of trying to pinpoint with this live broadcast. I think the major thing to talk about was the fact that I'm actually going to China for 10 days. The other major thing is the fact that actually that developed off of your comments is that I have a Patreon account now. But I think that I'll talk more about that. Oh, I remembered, because the video at the top of Patreon is in regards to a project that I'm working on that is sort of TV based. So I can't talk so much about it, but safe it to say that Save it to say? What is that saying? Save it to say? Or safe it to say? Anyways, so I've got this this opportunity to do this TV show. I'm talking to some people. I'll leave it at that. But they like me and they like the concept of me traveling around, but they want some sort of a gimmick. And so before I go back to Ningbo, I've got to put together a promo video for them focusing on the fact that I travel on a budget. Like, that's what they're interested in. They're interested in the fact that I'm traveling on my like I'm traveling with little funds. But I've been trying to figure out how to do that, because I don't travel cheap. You know, I don't travel cheaply. And my intention is not to be like that guy that's eating on street corners every day, trying to stretch $1 too much. But when I was talking to the contacts that I have over the TV, they were like, well, the fact that you are able to do this and sustain this sort of lifestyle is an interesting model for a show, and we want to focus on that. And so how does one like you travel on a lifestyle such as this? And that's what they want to kind of wrap a whole show around. And I'm having a really tough time encapsulating that message. It never was quite my primary focus, was like, you know, hey guys, I'm traveling cheap, and this is how I keep using that word cheap. And that was one thing that they said. They said, don't use that word cheap. Just, I've been trying to wrap my mind around how to do this, because it's really important that I get this proposal video done so that they can take a look at it, and maybe we can move to this next step. Yeah, but they don't want to do the Jayoe message. They don't want to do the add fuel to life message. So in some ways I've got to play by their rules, but I've also got to do it in a way that kind of, it makes me feel comfortable too, you know. You know, but I don't really travel thrifty. If I see good food, I buy it. I think more, and this is maybe just me talking to friends, and so I'm trying to hash this out in my mind, but you know, the way that I travel is very open, and maybe I don't need the expensive hotels. I don't need a lot of those things that a lot of people I know do need, you know, the creature comforts. So, you know, I can eat street food. I can eat some things that might repulse other people. But I would be more than happy to spend $25 on a huge hamburger, you know what I mean? And that's definitely not thrifty. It's definitely not, you know, economical to buy a huge hamburger and mow it down, you know? So, like if you were to think about the Jayoe tour, what is the interesting aspects of that would be able to meld themselves into a show that you would find interesting that would play on TV? For me, I was thinking the Jayoe tour, Mr. Jayoe, the guy that's adding fuel to his life by living by a different set of rules. That's cool. Living by a different set of rules. Okay, what are those rules that you don't need? I mean, I'm not living the life of a millionaire. I'm not living on yachts and things like this, you know. I'm living eco-directed, right? I'm not using gas. That's kind of an angle. I'm riding a trike. That's a very weird angle. You know, there's a lot of these kind of aspects that play into the whole tour as a whole, you know, but it's not just one thing, it's like many things. But for a show, you kind of have to wrap it around and make it like put a pretty bow on it, from what I'm understanding. I'm out of the rat race, okay, I can see that. But now what I have to do is got to pull all the old video, all the old vlogs, and I've got to make, like, they call it like a promo reel, you know, so I got to pull all the aspects in from those that follow that theme. So like if I'm trying to make a video about how I travel off the rat race, you know, out of the rat race, off the rat race, then I have to, what would be those clips? Obviously you have a few of me riding the trike, and then you have a few tent shots, maybe hostel shots, interactions with people on the streets, eating crazy foods, you know. But they haven't, but none of those are really living cheaply. And I keep defaulting to that word cheap, and I hate that word because that's not me. There's a million travelers out there with shows and things that talk about how, you know, you can live on $10 a day or whatever, and that's just not what I'm doing. Fueling life. See, but they don't seem to even really want to want to go on the Jayoe realm, which I'm half and half on. See, if I do this show, I'll actually still have the vlog, so the vlog will still exist outside of whatever concept I do with this TV slot, you know. So it's basically trying to figure out how something would work in tandem with my tour, but also kind of be an accentuation of one of the aspects of my tour. And the thing that they really like is the fact that I'm not living the American ideal lifestyle, or the idea, you know, that kind of white picket fence lifestyle that most Americans strive for. I'm kind of enjoying life on this other scope, and they liked the fact that had a financial connotation, and so they want me to do something related to money. And so I've really been racking my brain for the past, I was supposed to finish this thing a while ago, and my mind has just been, you know how sometimes if it's, you got to get to click properly to put your passion behind it, right? And it's so far, I haven't been able to click it properly. Like, if I can make a video about the act that I'm adding fuel to life, oh man, I can come up with so many ideas. Boom, 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 boom. I could get on that computer and I could put out something very similar to that promo thing at the beginning of my Patreon page. But for this money aspect, I just haven't been able to wrap my mind around it, because what I'm producing is something based on something that will incorporate into my life. It's not like it's funny, because when you talk about a show and you talk about a guy, an actor that's going to be in a show, you're okay, well, we're going to send you here and you're going to do this, and we're going to send you to this place and you're going to do this sort of a thing for the show. But any sort of conversation about a potential idea that would stem from the Jayoe World Tour for TV or media, it's my life, you know what I mean? So, and that's the way I want it, you know? So first, I can't lie, because it's my life. I can't say that as I travel around the world, I spend only $10 a day, because obviously that's not true, and I couldn't live with that, and it would be very easy for somebody to prove that wrong and make me a kicking point, you know, like Bear Grylls, that Survivor guy, that Man vs. Wild, right? He was found living in 5-star hotels when he was telling everybody he was climbing mountains with, you know, by himself, and you're a fake. And I don't want to be a fake. The whole point of what I'm doing is that I'm doing it pretty real, and you know, you guys can look at me and watch me and say, this is a real guy doing something real with his life that is not quite the same as anybody else. So that's what I've been trying to do, Stephen. I've been trying to give my brain a break, and I literally, yesterday, that's one of the reasons I haven't been vlogging. It's one of the reasons that I haven't been picking up a camera. I've been trying to just kind of relax, because this is actually really, really important for me. Because if I could get a show, then, because I've been really trying to get YouTube to grow for me and provide me with, the ideal thing is to make videos about life and travel, and my love of that and video, and then have those videos pay for my life of travel and videos, you know, and in creating this self-sustaining system. And that has been working. But having a show on a network would catapult that to being more sustainable quicker, as long as it's within the realm of my life as it continues. That's the critical thing. Because if suddenly I'm doing a food show for, you know, food TV or something, and suddenly I'm forced to go to restaurants and do this kind of very oriented thing, then all of a sudden Jayoe World Tour isn't a Jayoe World Tour anymore. So as long as I can find something that integrates into the existing tour and we can do alongside it, then that is the ultimate. And that's pretty much been my dream from the beginning. So, well, you know, Bernard, if you go to jayoe.com/map, M-A-P, you can see, you know, common sense spending. I'm looking at comments right now, so. Yeah, TV. What is TV anymore, right? I haven't watched, like, there's a TV in the hostel, and it's playing music videos, and I'm addicted to it because I've been listening to music as I've been riding. Like, I listen to all the popular music, but I haven't seen the video, so I'm like, wow, this is the video for that thing I've been listening to forever. Anyways. You know what? I'm going to read these comments later because I really appreciate the comments, but I think I just have to continue talking. Red Bull doesn't want to sponsor somebody like me. I'm really small still. I'm really small. 29,000 subscribers isn't even on the radar, even for YouTube. But I'm tenacious and I'm continuing. And oh, a couple of other things. That guy from Only in Japan that I met a few days ago, he will upload a video on his channel. He's got 600,000 subscribers. He's a really nice guy. I've been watching him forever. And you guys want to know something cool? You guys want to know something awesome? So this Only in Japan guy, his name's John. I've known him forever. But with just telling you, with 28,000 subscribers, like I remember when I had 1,000 subscribers and I could talk and answer every comment and answer every email, and I was really, really more in touch with you guys as viewers. That's one reason I like these live broadcasts, is because I can actually talk to you guys. Yeah, brought in Japan. Problem is, okay, this is the problem, okay? This is why it's very difficult, and why I haven't done very many vlogger one-on-ones with big vloggers. So now at 28,000, I can barely read my comments, and most of the time I don't, and I really apologize that. I do look through comments as much as I can, and I love the comments that you guys leave. It's amazing to have a community like that, but I don't always answer them. And I don't read every single one, and I get emails from people and people that are inspired, and some amazing messages, and it's beautiful. But I have 28,000 subscribers. So if I multiply that by 20 or 30, you know, like this John guy, he's got like 500,000 subscribers or more. That is a whole different level of work and a whole different level of maintaining a connection with your community. And when I focused on John because he was a guy that I watched for a long time. He was a guy that Casey Neistat was the guy that inspired me to do the vlogs like that format. But as soon as I found Casey Neistat, I started looking around and seeing other people, especially in Asia. I mean, there was Serpent Za, who I talked to last night. Me and Winston were talking about my growth, and he was hoping for all of you guys that really hate Serpent Za. He's a nice guy. He's just a different guy. He's got a really rough personality and a rough take on things in some instances, but as a fellow guy that making videos in China, he's been very helpful and been able to talk to me a lot about things. Anyway, we were talking about the fact that John made this video with me. Okay, back. So how did I get John to talk to me? I sent him a message a while back, told him I was traveling. This was before I was in Japan. I was trying to line up people in Japan and see if I could get some messages. I sent out messages to almost every major vlogger above like 100,000 subscribers in Japan. Like, many messages. I sent it to media, I sent it to magazines, I sent it to many things. Oh, that is a tangent that I could explore in another live broadcast. My frustration with media here in Japan. American traveling around the world with a YouTube channel on a recumbent trike in Tokyo for a few weeks on his world traveling tour that's going to last him 10 years. You telling me that you don't want to do at least a little blurb in your magazine about this character? Nobody, apparently. Nobody wants to do an article about me. Anyways, so back. We're coming back. So I wanted to talk to John at Only in Japan. And so I sent him a message. I actually got him to reply to me a while back before I even went to Japan. He's like, when you get to Japan, look me up. But it was kind of like, I could tell it was It was a pretty quick response. And so I tried to stoke that ember into a flame, and it just kept, it was like getting in the rain. It was getting doused. In fact, I think what happened is he sort of forgot about me. And I'm not blaming him. I was getting frustrated because I knew that I was losing him and losing the opportunity to meet with him. And I was getting closer to Tokyo. And I had sent him messages. I went on live broadcasts that he was doing, and I talked to him. Hello. And I'm talking to a phone in front of a hostel, energetically and excitedly. Anyways, so I sent him a bunch of messages. He didn't reply. And I really thought that I was going to lose this opportunity. And I even talked with Winston and a few Chinese vloggers. And I said, you know, I'm really frustrated. I don't know what's going on. And they replied back to me, Winston especially. He was like, I did something with you because I knew you from China. And we were kind of in a circle of friends that make videos in China. And I like you. But he's like, I get messages from so many people all over the world that want to do things with me or want to meet me or want to, you know, and it's just so much, right? And he's like, and this guy is actually, you know, double Winston, more than double as far as subscriber count. And he's like, you can't imagine the amount of stuff that we have to deal with when you get into the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And he's like, the guy probably just doesn't have time to deal with you. So try to focus on smaller vloggers, people with smaller channels, people below your sub count. So like I have 28,000 subscribers. And so these people that he was recommending me find were lower. And that's when I met Giovanni in Sendai. And Giovanni introduced me to his buddy who had 20,000 subscribers. And I was like, wow, that's an opportunity. And that's something I'm going to actually tweak my system and actually start reaching out to people with lesser subscribers. Abroad in Japan would be awesome, but I don't think it would give me the time of day. If somebody knows abroad in Japan and they can kind of help me to connect, that's another way to do it. But anyways, John, how did I get it? How did I get to speak with John on a level of like, hey, let's meet? I knew that I was going to lose him. I knew that if I went to Tokyo and left and I didn't meet a big vlogger while I was here, I was just going to be defeated, especially with my Vlogger One-on-One series, which was about meeting people making videos around the world. And so, what I did is I started thinking about what am I good at? What are my assets as Matt? Well, I'm a vlogger, obviously, but that's the same as him. I looked at his videos, and he's got some openers and some interesting graphics, but he's got this round logo. And one thing that I had taught myself way back in the day, you guys have seen my What Does Jayoe Mean video. That was done in a program called After Effects. It's a complicated program that's used for special effects. Like if you want to shoot somebody in a movie that you're making about zombies or something, you want the blood to splatter out and you want to do that graphically, you'll use After Effects in most cases. Well, years ago I taught myself how to use that program. I never took any courses in video or design or anything. I just taught myself everything. But I taught myself how to animate characters. And so I sat down for one full day, morning to night. I dissected his logo. I recreated it in Illustrator. I imported it into After Effects and I animated it as a cool little lower third. A lower third is like, you know when people do news programs and their name slides out and slides back? That's a lower third. And I was thinking, John might like to have a lower third made based on his logo that's very animated, you know, that like the words pop in and things spinning and everything. If you watch our Vlogger One-on-One, and which is really cool, if you watch the Vlogger One-on-One I did with John, you will see his logo and open. I designed that. I designed it without asking him, without saying, hey man, how much you want? Just, I invested an entire 8 to 10 hour day in redesigning his logo and making it animated. I mean, a guy very talented at that could probably have done what I did in a few hours. It took me longer, but I really tried to do it right. So I redesigned his logo. and I sent him an email. And I put that video on an unlisted private link on YouTube so that he could see it. And on it, it was free stuff for John at Only in Japan was the title of the video. And it had his logo in the center of the title screenshot. And I just sent it to him. Hey guy, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Matt. I'm the guy traveling around the world. I'll be in Japan for a while, but I thought I'd make this for you for free. Here's all the files. I gave him a link to all the files I had on my server. If he wanted to tweak it or do anything, I says, this is yours. It's free of charge. It's just something that I think you might be able to use. It wasn't, geez, an hour that I received a reply from him. Wow, that's awesome. Here's my phone number. Give me a call when you're in Japan, when you're in Tokyo. Now, can I do that with everybody? No. Yeah, you know, but is that in essence the effort that you need to expend in order to get what you want? For sure. He ended up connecting with me. I connected with him. When I got to Tokyo, I made a vlogger one-on-one with him. He's going to put me on his live channel, which is going to upload real soon. We made a vlog. He was in my vlog, and I've earned his respect in a way that was way above, hey man, I want to be in your video. Because that was the other thing that Winston was like, big vloggers hold on to their subscribers, especially if they worked like for an hour, you know, not an hour, especially if they worked for 100,000 subscribers for 10 years or something like that. You know, John has been making videos for a long time. He's been in Japan for 20 years. His subscribers are like his family, and if somebody kind of comes along and says, hey, I'm traveling through, I want to do a video with you, the motivation for that in their mind is, this guy just wants to scum off of my subscribers, my family. And so I had to show value to him before he would kind of come to me and say, okay, well, let's do something together. And so that was my olive branch, you know, try to find something that you think you're better at than most people, and then use that and work hard and give something to somebody for free without asking for anything in return. Because I'd sent it to him and I stepped away, but it only took an hour. As a matter of fact, I messaged Annie and I told her what I was doing. I said, Annie, this Only in Japan guy, and I had already voiced my frustration with not being able to connect with him, and she's like, oh, forget him. He doesn't want to do anything with you. Just forget about him. Just focus on your own stuff. And I said, hey, I got a plan. I think he's gonna enjoy this, and maybe he'll come back. And Annie had actually said before, because I was late, before I went to bed, she said, Matt, promise me one thing. If he doesn't reply to you, 1, don't get angry, and 2, don't invest so much in something that's not gonna bear fruit in the future. Because Annie is that kind of person. She's very literal, you know? You put an A to get B. And so, so she said that, and then in the morning I took a screenshot of the email that John sent back to me with this phone number. I was like, and he sent me ha 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 right away, and a big strong arm emoji. Anyways, so funny. But yeah. So anyways, that was that. So I'm trying to retool that. Okay, so. Get rid of the before Jayoe Nation. J comes before T. Okay, well, what do you mean on my YouTube channel? If you search Jayoe, all my stuff comes up. I know Life Where I'm From guy. I've been looking at his channel right now. Apparently he doesn't really do a lot of collaborations where he'll actually do a video with somebody else, but it's worth a try. When I go back to Japan, it's going to provide me 10 days to kind of reach out to some more people in Japan, and maybe when I come back here I'll do a couple of other things, and before I continue. Yeah, the intro song was nice. Way back in the travelogue days. You're talking travelogue? Geez, I've had a few intros. Let's see, I'm looking at comments here. So, how can you travel? Listen, archaeology. See a gadget. So, archaeology, the family, that's a really big story. But I'll sum it up in this. When I met Annie, I wanted to do this. When I met Annie, this was part of me, this tour. And just as much as, you know, I was always honest. So I always said, you know, if you want a relationship with me, you got to understand that this is where my goal in life is. And if you're okay with that and we can build some sort of a relationship based on that, that's okay. If you can't, then that's okay too. And I understand, you know where you want to be. And so our relationship is really built on honesty, and it's not normal. And my family life is not prototypical, but everything about me is not quite prototypical. And that goes even farther to my life with Annie and Eva and my family and everything, which is a subject that is way bigger than this live stream. So we'll talk about that another day. Anyways, let's see here. Everybody it's too late where you're from, see you later. I appreciate you sitting around and hanging out with me while I blabber on. Again, I'll have to read through these comments later. But yeah, in summation, wow, this is actually an hour long. I think this is one of my longest videos ever. Do you guys like these live broadcasts? If you like this, maybe I do a live. Now this one is stagnant, like I'm tethered to this Wi-Fi. But an hour live broadcast, if I'm cycling, God, I think I would chew up. It would probably cost me about $10, which I guess isn't that much. Or maybe no, maybe it would cost me around $25. I pay $25 for every 4 gig of service, and I use. Normally that lasts me forever, but if I was to, I wonder how many gigs this video thing would be. It's very interesting because I kind of like this. This is neat, and so if I could do a live broadcast, I was thinking, okay, tell me about this. What do you think about a live broadcast from the time I wake up, get on the trike, ride to a location, and the time I go to sleep? It would be like a 15 or 20 hour live cast, like a live join the Jayoe tour, and we pick an interesting ride that'll take me through some interesting places, hopefully. And I could rig up a rig on the trike so that maybe the vibration wouldn't be there, because I couldn't hold the camera the whole time. But maybe I do that, and I just pay for a lot of service on my line, and I just go well, yeah, like Ed TV. I think that would be cool. We meet people on the side of the road. We'll just have like, yeah, an anniversary stream. That's a good idea. We pick a special day, and I make sure I'm riding, and yeah, it would be neat. What, do a full day right now? See, the problem is if I step away from here, it's gonna tweak. It'll probably go offline because it's gonna lose the Wi-Fi from the hotel. And sitting in front of this screen is not the way that I would like. And it's too rainy to do like a full live day. It'd be me being miserable in the rain with you guys. In Japan, people enjoy a good smoke. Anyways, so record it normal. What do you mean? What, it's pixelated right now? I think it should be pretty good. I'll have to review it later. Actually, when I finish, the way that these live broadcasts work on YouTube is it's streaming to the server right now. But as soon as I hit finish, it will save it and then re-upload it to an actual video form that should pop up on my YouTube channel so that people can watch it in the future. I really wonder, I wonder how that quality will be, especially for a 60-minute video. I wonder how long it'll take to render and put it on. So I thought it would be good. Oh yeah, lower resolution, that would work, I guess, to save me a bit. But you know, I like the idea. I like the idea of making my stuff as great as possible, you know. So anyways, patron level for live, yeah, I like doing. I know that some of the guys do that. They do live broadcasts for people that pay a certain level on Patreon, and I think that's cool. But I like doing live broadcasts in front of all of you guys too. So oh yeah, We the Tech, man. I used to do. How many of you guys listen to my actual audio podcast on iTunes, the Jayoe Nation podcast? That was fun. I actually had a really beautiful microphone, really beautiful. Oh yeah, I won't forget. Thank you for reminding me about the tiny bed. let's go back and let's see. We have to be quiet though in that area. Oh, they're cleaning the linens. So this is my place. It's called the East 57. We got the washing machines. Cool art on the wall. These dryers, which are, you could fit a person in there. This is my area. And this is my computer. But the problem with these tables, the biggest problem with these tables is this right here. Like my knee. Come on. Whoever designed those things. You got problems. Then when? Yeah, totally. When I was doing the audio podcast, I didn't have barely any. All right, let me show you my bed. But I'll tell you what, I'm probably gonna lose contact on our way up, but we'll see. So anyways, you can see we have, this is the first floor. Second floor is dorms, 21 dorms, 21 dorms, 21 dorms, 21 dorms, and then the shower is up at the top, which is nice. And I have a card which hangs around my neck that allows me to go to my floor. Okay, so I gotta be a little quiet. I don't think you're gonna have many people in my dorm room. And if they're sleeping, shit man, you should be up anyways. Okay, so we've got basic lockers here. I don't use those. Those are my sandals. They're not clip-ins, guys. Don't ask. Don't keep asking me that. That is the train, which will come by every so often. You can see it's like right at eye level. Mount Fuji. Shoe lockers. Video screen. You can see the stairs. And these are one section of beds. And this is my bed. And let's see here. Turn the light on. Okay, so I get a little locker up there for locking my stuff. Power outlets. And the one bad thing is that these springs just poke my entire body, but whatever, I don't care. And this is one of the Jayoe shirts. I'll show you the stain if you can see it. Here, let me put it right here. Yeah, it's sort of like a boat, right? Right. You might not be able to see the stain, to be honest. It's kind of hard to see, but in a certain light, it's very easy to see. Yep, there we go. There we go. You can see it. Let me hang this up. Okay. So, you see that? It's not. Look at that. Look at that crap. Look at that. It's all over every shirt. What a shame. And it was so cool. Like, I have Add Fuel to Life on the back, the Jayoe logo inside. Let's see here. Where's my backpack's downstairs. Some of them have the tag. This one actually doesn't even have the tag on the inside that was there. But the stitching is really good quality and everything's all good except for that stupid, look at that stain. That sucks. Yeah, every single shirt. I told Annie, I'm like, Annie, what the hell's wrong with these shirts? And then she went and looked, and every single one of them has that kind of ugly, subtle stain. Anyways, frustrating. So that's my bedroom. That's all. bathrooms are super clean now. Actually smells clean in here. Toilets are roomy and can wash your ass if you want, which is always a good thing. And then they have a separate, which I really like, a separate room for urinals, which is cool. Because sometimes you just don't want to sit down, you just want to get done with your business. Anyways, let's go back. Let's go back down. So yeah, that's it. Let's see. No train. And just to give you an idea of this place, this room is like $23 a night. It's cheap. In Tokyo, downtown Tokyo, this is so cheap. So cheap. Anyways, that is our hostel. So I've been sitting there working for the last few days, and we'll have some interesting things. You'll see Eva in a little while. Can you guys still see me? It says there's a very bad connection. It must be doing better though, because I think that from the shirt. Hey, Salvatore. Shh. Shh. Okay, I'm going to share one embarrassing story. A couple of nights ago, I was in there, and it was full. It was a weekend. There was people all around. And I had a nasty video on my phone. And I opened my phone, and I opened the browser to check something, and it played auto. And let's just say the audio was pretty obvious what it was. Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on with the... Anyways, we'll leave you with that stupid story. I don't know why it's so bad. I'm gonna end anyways. It's bad connection. It's good now, right? We're back. We're back. Did you hear my phone porn story, or was that lost to the bad stream? Okay, we're back. Where did I break off? Did you guys hear me through this whole thing, or did I disappear for a while? Hey, Pat. Hey, everybody. Okay. All right, good. Okay, guys, this one is long, man. 73 minutes. Crazy. Okay, so to revisit everything, if you just jumped on, I'm going to Ningbo for 10 days. I'll see Eva and Anny. We're going to go to Guangzhou for the Canton Fair, and so you'll see that. I've been in Japan for a while. My trike is resting at James Oda's place, whom I went to Fukushima with and did that ride around Tokyo. You need to check that out. My Only in China story on his channel will come up in a couple of days, which I will be talking about later. The videos with him came out really well. I did some really amazing things and made some really hard judgments to try and get a meeting with him, which ended up panning out, which is why I think I need to retool my whole idea of how I encourage other vloggers to reach out to me and have us do things. You really have to really work hard in order for that to happen. My shirts came out shitty, and so they won't be on my new Patreon page, which I just put on. What else? I would like to climb Mount Fuji when I come back, and I'm going to be cycling through Japan now with another 90-day window, which will allow me to finally finish Japan. And I would like to climb Mount Fuji in the winter, and there's a train next to me, and yeah, and I have a chance for the TV show, and we discussed, man, this is going to be a really hard live broadcast to beat. Because, gosh, future live streams, I can talk about. I could do a Q&A on lives. I think Q&As are really cool to do on live, but I need to let people know that I'm going to be on live, and I'll do a scheduled live broadcast for a Q&A session once a week. I'm thinking, or once every 2 weeks. So yeah, golly, talked about a lot with you guys just now. But I need to let you go because Annie has been sending me Eva pictures that I haven't been able to open. And yeah, and I'm getting a bad connection again. So we will do that. So take it easy, Jayoe. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in Ningbo, because I think I'll do the next video will be flying to Ningbo. We'll leave with the train.